and welcome to Evelyn Taylor Majure's Black American Women Innovators series. This week we will be profiling Jackie Ormes. Jackie Ormes was the first Black American woman to have her comic strip published nationally. Jackie Ormes was born Zelda Maven Jackson on August 1st, 1911 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. She was 6 years old when her father, William Winfield Jackson, was killed in an automobile accident. After remarrying, Jackie's mother, Mary Brown Jackson, moved her daughters, Jackie and Dolores, to Monongahela, Pennsylvania. In high school in the suburb, Jackie was always busy. She taught herself to draw and published her first cartoons in her high school yearbook in 1930. While still in high school, she covered a Joe Louis boxing match for the Pittsburgh Courier. The Courier was Black America's largest newspaper with over 300,000 subscriptions nationwide. The Pittsburgh Courier gave Jackie Ormes her first job in journalism. Ormes did proofreading, editing, freelance writing, police beats, and court cases. In 1937, she got to publish her first comic strip, Torchy Brown and Dixie to Harlem. Miss Ormes created 4 comic strips during her career as a comic satirist. Torchy Brown and Dixie to Harlem in 1937, Candy in 1945, Patty Joe and Ginger in 1946, and Torchy and the Heartbeats in 1950. Jackie Ormes' comic strips challenged many social standards through artistic engagement. Torchy Brown was an outspoken girl from the South. She joined the Great Migration to New York City. Torchy wanted to sing at the Cotton Club in Harlem. She was not your typical black girl character in the comic strips. She was tall, good-looking, and well-spoken. Her clothes were the latest fashions. Torchy Brown looked good. Miss Ormes used Torchy as a role model. She brought beautiful black women into comic strips. Jackie put an end to racist stereotypes in the comic strips when it came to black women. On May 1st, 1937, Torchy Brown and Dixie to Harlem was published in the Pittsburgh Courier. The Courier had 14 cities carrying their newspaper across the country. This made Jackie Ormes the first Black American woman to have her comic strip published nationally. Torchy Brown and Dixie to Harlem ran until April 30th, 1938. Jackie moved to Chicago in 1942. She started freelancing for the Chicago Defender and scooped mainstream white media in reporting on the integration at the Great Lakes Naval Training Center. Miss Ormes had many projects while working at the Chicago Defender. Jackie used her social page, The Social World, to support the Double V campaign. Candy, her second comic strip, a single-panel comic about a good-looking urban house cleaner, ran from March 24th until July 21st, 1945. Ormes sojourned from the Chicago Defender back to the Pittsburgh Courier in 1945. The Courier is where Patty Joe and Ginger found a home. Patty Joe and Ginger was also a single-panel comic strip. Out of the Mouth of Babes is about Patty Joe. She was a really bright little black girl. She liked sharing her opinions with Ginger, her attractive big sister. Patty Joe had a biting sense of humor. She was a way for Miss Ormes to take on current events using the innocence of a child to artistically engage. Miss Ormes used satire in her comic strips as editorial controversial issues. Patty Joe and Ginger ran for 11 years from September 1st, 1945 until September 22nd, 1956. In 1947, Jackie Ormes contracted with Terry Lee Doll Company. She was asked to design and build a Patty Joe doll. The doll she designed and created was the first Black American doll that was contemporary. The Patty Joe doll had full fashion wardrobe. It was loved by both black and white children. The Patty Joe doll is now highly sought after by collectors. August 1950, the Pittsburgh Carrier ran Miss Ormes' last comic strips. It was a makeover of Torchy Brown. The new strip was called Torchy in Heartbeats. This time Torchy Brown was cosmopolitan. She was beautiful, well-educated, and independent. The talk was Miss Ormes designed Torchy to look like Lena Horne. Torchy in the Heartbeats was written like a chapter book, Torchy looking for adventure and the right man. Miss Ormes once again uses her characters in Torchy in the Heartbeats to write about hard issues like racism, politics, environmental concerns, and misogynism. The last installment of Torchy in the Heartbeats was September 18, 1954. Jackie Ormes used her comic strips to uplift black American women, challenging ignorance and unfounded biases one comic strip at a time. We hope you enjoyed this profile of this brilliant comic strip satirist. If you'd like to learn more about Jackie Ormes, please get in touch with us at jhlibrary.org or cdixon@jhlibrary.org. We look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you next week. Have yourself a great day.